Hola, guys. Welcome back to another edition of What's Poppin' the podcast on 93.9 WKYS. So, precursor, dealing with bronchitis. So, if I have to cough in the middle of this, just act like it never happened, okay? And to you. So, today we are joined by two of my new favorite people. We've got Kim and Alan from Club Pilates. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So, first of all, let's talk about how you guys discovered Pilates before we get into Club Pilates, which is a Black-owned business for the record. But go ahead.
So I'll try to keep this short because I can be a little long-winded. So actually, one of my friends introduced me to Pilates. I'd heard about Pilates, mainly mat Pilates, had never actually done it on the mat. But in conversation, she was just explaining to me the type of exercise it was, how wonderful it was. The challenge was, as she said, we live in Prince George's County, and there aren't that many Pilates studios. And if there are, they're expensive. There are minimal reformers, which was what you experienced last night. And it's just, once again, it's a limited option in our county. And I happened to be watching Channel 4. Am I allowed to say that? Channel 4. Right before the NBC4 Health and Fitness Expo. Millette Green. She was in Club Pilates studio. 6 o'clock in the morning, I was watching it. And I was like, oh, my gosh, that looks like what my friend was talking about. And I got intrigued. And I was thinking to myself, wow, I would love to do that. I can imagine there's so many people in the community that would love to be able to, try the exercise out. Started Googling to see if there was one near us. The closest one at that time was Annapolis.
Wow.
They were actually in Bethesda. And so it just kind of brought to my mind, I was like, wow, we don't have anything like this nearby. And I was never looking for a franchise, wasn't looking to buy a business or anything, but, my eyes wandered down the page on the website that particular day. And I say it was God's spirit that kind of drew me down. And I looked, and I kind of, in my mind, went back and forth, went ahead and clicked on franchise, and just to see what information came up, what they were asking. And one thing led to the other, and I just started filling the information out. At the same time, saying to myself, "They're never going to call me.
Right.
They're never going to call me." And got to the end of it. It was funny because they were asking certain questions, and I was hesitant to answer. But then I was like, "There's no way that they can verify this, so let me just."
It's fine.
Yeah, keep going through. So anyway, I went through, put the information through. Didn't think anything of it. Reached out to my friend. I was like, we should go just try this out. So we went to the one in Annapolis, took the 30-minute free intro. And after the intro, we really, really liked it. We liked it a lot and ended up joining and started taking classes. So we would go down on Saturday or Sunday, take classes, come out the class and just felt really invigorated, had a good time. It was great. It was a great workout. In the meantime, as time goes on, 2 days after doing the, going online, 2 days later, I actually get a reply and from Club Pilates, and so the conversation, the engagement began, and they were sharing information with me. I would soak it up. I would go tell Alan about it. He would look at me like, that's nice.
That's cute.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't really interested. And the engagement continued. And it got to the point where it, really got down to the wire of making a decision. And I, had been taking classes. I thought it was a great idea. I thought I knew so many people who could benefit from it. But it was like, where's the money coming from? Where are the instructors coming from? All that. And I talked to the gentleman that I've been conversing with over the course of time. And I said to him, this is a great idea. I would love to do it. I know so many people who can benefit from it. I said, but I just don't foresee how I can pull this off.
Right.
And he encouraged me to come out and do a discovery day in California. He was like, come out, hear more about the company. Our different department heads will talk to you, explain how they can support you, and go from there. And if you're interested and you want to continue, great. If not, no harm, no foul. So I said, okay. Went down to talk to Alan, and I said, will you go with me to California to hear about this? And he was like, sure. So we go out there. The first thing they take us to do is a class. Okay. So we do a class, and I think that's when he actually was like,
so you did the class too.
Okay. So when he did the class, that's when he was like, oh, okay.
Like, this is a real deal.
This is a real deal. I can see how I can train people like that. And he can tell you his history, but he's been in strength and conditioning as far as a strength and conditioning coach for over 20 years.
Okay.
So he's like, I can really see how I can work people out. So he says to me, well, I can be an instructor. I was like, okay, well, that solves that challenge. But then after listening, because the next day we went to a classroom type setting, each division head basically would come in, explain how they support us from development to marketing to each entity. And after it was all said and done, we were like, okay, this sounds like something great. The support's there. We had one instructor. He had to go through training, but it kind of just continued to build on itself. And we felt like, God was lining everything up. And one thing led to the other, and fast forward to August 22nd, and we opened up. I mean, obviously, there was a lot in between, but
How long was the process from, like, when you guys went out to California to when you opened in August?
So June of 2018, and we officially opened August of this year. Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. So, the engagement process, I probably went online and started that whole thing in March of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fast turnaround.
It was. I mean, it was very fast. If they had their druthers, they would have you open in 6 months. But you have to go through a process of identifying a location.
Right.
Which can take time.
And how did you guys, because Club Pilates is located at the Laurel Town Center. Mm-hmm. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Town Center at Laurel.
Town Center. The fancy new one with the movie theater.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, but how did you guys pick on that location?
So, do you want to explain that? Or?
Well, you're doing such a good job.
Okay. Well, okay. So our broker, so the company does, as far as resources, they give you recommendations as far as vendors' resources. So we decided to go with one of the brokers that they had listed. And he had a whole tour scheduled for us. And that was the beginning of our tour. We started in Laurel. That was the first location he took us to. We walked through, and as soon as we saw the space, we were like, this is great. But I have to be perfectly honest. My intention when I first saw the Club Pilates on TV and started going with the idea, my thought was, we live in Upper Marlboro. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go over in that area, like by the Wegmans. Mm-hmm. Nothing was available. And there's a lot of challenges in the sense that a lot of the larger big box gyms, they have exclusions, so you can't go into certain areas.
Okay.
It's written into their agreements.
That makes sense.
So that was the first place he took us, and when we saw it, it was a great space.
Yeah, it is.
And then we went to a few others. Well, more than a few others. We started there and ended up all the way down by Steeplechase in Capitol Heights. Oh. And that was what we settled on. The engagement with the landlord was great. It was a process, but it was an easy process, I guess, relatively speaking. But long answer to your question, that's how we ended up there.
Now, you're a trainer, but are you also a trainer as well?
I have gone through teacher training. I need to complete my teacher training.
Okay, so pass the microphone over to Alan. Right. Let's do some of this coaching stuff. Now, tell me a little bit about your background. You are a strength and conditioning coach, and what does that entail?
Well, basically, I worked with all sorts of populations. I worked with athletes. I worked with lay people. I did that for 20 plus years. I had my own business. Okay. I worked at the Coliseum Gym. Shout out to the Coliseum. Mm-hmm. I also have a studio in my basement.
Okay.
So basically, I floated between those two locations. And I had about 30 to 35 clients that I have been with for basically the life of my time as a trainer. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they're family.
Okay.
And I miss them all. But
new beginnings.
Time to do something new.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
So what was the process like to become a Pilates instructor? How time intensive
is it? It was very
is it?
humbling.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because one would figure, with my background.
I've been doing this for 20 years. I got this.
Exactly,
mm-hmm.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing was, it was very humbling because there's a lot of things that I don't know. Mm-hmm. And the Pilates method is different than what I'm used to applying. Mm-hmm. There's some crossover. There's some commonalities. But overall, I had to learn a lot about my own body so I could better instruct others. Okay. And I'm still in the learning process. Okay. So it is keeping me very humble, keeping me very aware. But it's great. I love it.
Sounds good. So yesterday I figured they were coming in today, so I thought I'd come in and do the little 30-minute intro class. Now, you guys actually offer a special if you take the intro class, right? Can you guys talk about the special real quick?
So right now, basically in general, we offer a 30-minute free intro. So you can come in. The beauty is you can come in, you can try the class. You get like a snippet of what a 50-minute, because the classes are typically 50 minutes long, a snippet of what a 50-minute class is like. So the instructor who's doing the intro will take you through everything from introducing you to the reformer, which a lot of people look at it and they're like, what is that
Contraption?
thing? Exactly. So they take you through, explain it, to make it a little more friendly, user-friendly. And then we'll take you through pieces of different parts of the workouts or the flow. So they'll start out with breathing, the footwork, etc. What we were offering yesterday evening is basically, in general, if one were to sign up last night, we do charge an enrollment fee of $59. So we were offering that if one were to sign up last night, that the enrollment fee would be waived. But we do offer different,
like
packages and specials through, and with the holidays coming, like Black Friday, we're going to have a special going on Black Friday. So check our Facebook, account out, because you'll be able to see it there, or page rather, I should say. But yeah, so that in a nutshell. And when we were opening, we had some great deals as well.
And what are, for people that are not familiar with Pilates, because most people equate Pilates with what you do on the mat, right? Like, so everyone says it lengthens and tones and stuff. But this is an actual like apparatus that you slide up and down on. You're laying on your back, you're laying on your back and you slide up and down. But there are like these things that engage either your legs or your arms. It's like a whole situation. So what are the primary muscle groups that are worked in Pilates?
In Pilates, it hits everything.
Okay.
And we kind of refer to it as it's intelligent exercise. You have to think about what you're doing. It helps you establish a mind-body connection. You have to become very aware of your breathing and also how your body is placed and how it's moving in space. And a lot of people, as they get older, they start having jobs in which they're sitting, they're sedentary, they lose that connection with their bodies. It's not like when we were kids and we had the opportunity to run around on the playground. We constantly were moving, and we were moving in all planes of motion. When you're on a reformer, it puts you into those various planes of motion. So you're rotating. You're moving in what we call the sagittal plane, the frontal plane, the transverse plane. So you're just basically taking your body through all those types of things that you did as a child when you were on a playground. So it's kind of like an adult playground.
That might be a reach.
You didn't feel like you were on a playground?
No.
Did you enjoy the experience?
So the experience was great. There was parts of me that were a little sore in the moment. I was like, and then there were other things that they showed, and I was like, that looks dreadful, and I don't want any parts of that. But eventually we'll grow into that.
Right.
That's the plan.
The whole process. The goal is really to teach you how to become in tune with your body and also how to breathe properly. A lot of times we don't breathe appropriately, especially when we're exercising. So Pilates is very big on teaching individuals how to establish proper breathing rhythms while you're moving.
Gotcha.
And you'd be surprised how that not only improves your overall posture and awareness, but also just when you're moving around in daily life. You're just more aware of what your body is doing in space.
Okay. So there's always the myth, I don't know, that, with Pilates will give you this lean dancer's body. Is that like a real thing or no? Because here's the thing. I've got a short torso. So like, it's not going to change how tall I am or, you know what I'm saying? So like, what's it really going to do?
Well, first of all, it's going to strengthen and lengthen you.
Okay.
Because one of the things...
What does the lengthen mean, though? Because I'm not going to get taller.
It stretches you out.
Okay.
Meaning because of the exercises you're doing, it's going to take you out of that, how can I put it, contracted, compact way of living. Because if you think about it, you're sitting a lot.
Right.
You are standing a lot. You are not opening your body up. You're not lengthening it. We typically are either sitting in a car, sitting at a desk, walking somewhere, but we're not giving ourselves enough opportunities throughout the day, throughout the week, to just open our bodies up, stretch our muscles. So Pilates gives you that opportunity, especially when you're on a reformer, to really stretch yourself out, lengthen your muscles. While you're lengthening them, you're also strengthening them because you have resistance that is incorporated in those movements. So you're not only strengthening, lengthening, you're also becoming more aware of what's my body doing? How does it feel as I'm going through these motions? So it's kind of like a reintroduction to what God basically gave you. Now, as far as your body type, that's all diet. I always tell people when it comes to getting leaner, it's what you eat.
Okay.
So that's another discussion.
Okay.
But Pilates in and of itself is really for building body awareness, establishing that mind-body connection, opening your body up, strengthening you, lengthening you. The diet piece we can deal with, but that's, like I said, that's
later.
another discussion.
Okay. So, and the interesting part is you guys offer a wide range of class options. So tell me what your earliest class is to like your latest class.
So, yeah, we have about 9 signature classes, 4 different levels of classes to challenge you. So the whole idea is, and the prayer is that you don't get bored. You know, our earliest class is 5 a.m. Monday through Thursday right now. We may add on a 5 a.m. on Friday. We'll see. And our latest class is 8 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay. And then we're open 7 days a week. Okay. So there's not a day that one cannot come in and work out. Now, granted, on Saturdays and Sundays, we have a more of an abbreviated schedule. But, yeah, we're open 7 days a week. Once again, hours that when we first opened, we were trying to get ideas, and even prior to us opening, because we had pre-sales and we were talking to and engaging members or potential members to find out what would work best for their schedule. So we got a lot of feedback. You know, people were like, can I come in before work?
Right.
You know, because people want to work out early in the morning. Or can I come in after work? So those are our most popular times anyway. The middle of the day, we're kind of working on because
people are at work.
Working. So there we believe there are a group of people out there that would like a midday slot. We just need to reach them. We haven't reached them yet.
Gotcha.
But the beauty is, as was explained last night, is we have a variety of classes. We typically start with our Flow 1 class as an introductory, because everybody's like, do you have beginner classes? And that's basically the beginner class. So you get on the reformer, then once again the instructor is going to take you through breathing, making that mind-body connection first and foremost, you know, becoming aware of, you know, the movement, your muscles, etc., and then start working you from head to toe, from footwork to ab work. You know, we do ab series to get, you know, because Pilates is very much focused on strengthening the core, but then working legs and straps, like you saw, arms and straps. So it's truly a full body workout. But from Flow 1, you can go to 1.5, which adds on weights, hand weights. But we also have the cardio class, which you saw where you put the jump board on, because people think that with Pilates, it's just, oh, you're doing these slow movements on the reformer. No, I mean, we have cardio where you're jumping, you're getting your heart rate up. It will work.
You're jumping while lying down, which sounds crazy, but it's like a real thing, and it's not bad.
No, yeah. Did you try?
I did.
You did try it. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what sold me on. I was like, wow, this is cool, because you will
and
get
far
your butt
less impact than
exactly.
like a standing up situation.
And that's the one other thing that's really beautiful about Pilates. One of the benefits is it's not as hard on your joints. So we have high intensity training classes. We have the TRX suspension strap. You know, we have the springboard, the Bosu ball, the exo chair. We have a whole bunch. As Alan was saying, it's almost like it is like a playground, because you have so many different apparatus you can work with that our instructors can give you a different class almost every time you come.
Gotcha.
But the focus is to indoctrinate and get people used to the machines, the movement of their body, etc.
Gotcha. Okay, so how can people get more information about Club Pilates in Laurel?
So there's multiple ways.
All right.
We do have a Facebook page, so you can just look us up, Club Pilates Laurel on Facebook. We have Instagram, once again, Club Pilates Laurel. Twitter, Club Pilates Laurel. You can call the studio at 240-859-8808. You can email us. Laurel@clubpilates.com. Or just come check us out.
So just in the spirit of like disclosure, right? So if you go on the website, it'll tell you the specific times they have an intro class. So like that's what I did. I went and I looked and I was like, oh, there's one tomorrow at 8:00. Let me just sign up. And I did. No problem. Literally, the girl called me the day of to confirm my appointment. And that was it. I walked in. I filled out a release, which you could do online, you know, whatever. But I didn't. So I filled it out in person, and easy breezy. And literally the class was maybe 30 minutes, probably 10 of that is them explaining the apparatus and the do's and don'ts and, you know, what to expect and things like that. So it's a good like get your toes wet kind of situation without too much commitment, you know, if you're unsure, you know. And the other thing too, in the spirit of disclosure, so it doesn't matter your size, like it doesn't matter how small or big you are, how tall or short you are. None of that matters. Like there's the apparatus. They have different settings for each person. So you could be up to 6'2", I think they said 6'1", 6'2", something like that. I'm nowhere near. And shorter. You know what I mean? So, but everyone is just kind of, it's a very positive environment. So, definitely give it a try. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
And the only other thing I would say to your point, because you said it very well, and we say it in a nutshell, everybody can do Pilates.
100%.
Everybody can do Pilates. Everybody needs Pilates, and it is a fun environment. It becomes a community. So there's 12 reformers. People come in there. They start bonding with each other through their workouts, through their, I joke, through the struggle. It's not that bad, but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of community, and we're trying to make Prince George's County healthy. We want to be a part of that,
right?
Building healthy people, healthy communities. So that's our goal.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Much
Thank
success.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's gonna do it for this edition of What's Poppin' the podcast on 93.9 WKYS.